I've been going back and forth about whether to even do this story, and I was about not to do the story, but I do find that this is a really important thing. It has to do with the existential threat facing Democrats. And I am seeing the writing on the wall that Democrats still don't get it. So I'm going to tell you this story. It's a personal story. Do with it what you will. And I know that I may be potentially burning some bridges by talking about this. One of the things that we learned during the 2024 election was that the Democratic Party doesn't really seem to get new media and independent media. And they continue to do the kind of stale thing of the Sunday shows that very few people watch and buttoned up interviews trying to be as least controversial as possible, occasionally dropping in a swear word or whatever to try to be a little more provocative and relatable. And it's all pretty disingenuous. But in December of 2024, I was invited to the White House. Of course, Kamala Harris had lost the election by then. And I met with senior Biden communications officials, and the president even came in to meet with us as well. And the topic really was the failures of 2024 by Democrats to understand independent media, to work with independent media, podcasts, foment an environment in which it's actually useful and sort of like creates a community where audiences get to know elected officials and blah, blah, blah. And I had high hopes that the corner was being turned. And in fact, in 2025, as you all know, we've had more Democratic elected officials on the show. This includes governors. This includes members of the House. This includes members of the Senate. One of the unfortunate things for Democrats, and I've been totally upfront with everybody about this, is that even when they appear on our shows, most of them really don't connect in a genuine way. They talk about fighting back with strongly worded letters and meeting voters where they are. And there's very little sense that they are up for the fight and understand how to work in this new media environment. There are exceptions. I mean, most recently we had Gavin Newsom on. I think he gets it. And part of it is Gavin Newsom himself. Part of it is his staff, which really gets it and understands how you generate interest and inspire people. Okay. So I had these periods of cautious optimism. They're not really doing it right, etc. Let me tell you what's happened over the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to name names here, but I do think it's important to tell you the story. There is an elected official, House or Senate, who we have been in touch with on the show off and on over the years. And that is an individual who has challengers in the forthcoming 2026 election. And this individual's challengers have been reaching out to me. The challengers for this elected official have been saying, David, fan of the show, I would like your endorsement, or at minimum, I would like to be on your show. What about maybe doing a debate, including the elected official that I'm running against? And so I want to kind of learn about what's going on in this race. I don't even know for sure that the elected is running for re-election. I assume that they are, but I don't know. So I reach out to the office of this elected official and I say, hey, just a reminder, David Pakman, you've done the show off and on over the years. We have a relationship. I am trying to get in touch to figure out what is going on for 2026. Are you running for re-election? Are you not? Are you up for doing a debate? Your challengers are asking me to appear. They're asking me for an endorsement, etc. I just want to touch base and figure out what's going on. I want to hear it from you before making any decisions about our coverage so that I ensure that our coverage is calibrated to, is this an open seat or is this an incumbent who's being challenged? Just want to touch base. I hear back from the office of this individual and they simply say, for any campaign questions, email info at a different website, which is clearly the campaign side, not the administrative, congressional office of this person. Now, there's of course nothing wrong with saying we really only handle the legislative affairs. For anything related to the forthcoming election, you have to be in touch with the campaign. There's nothing wrong with that. but shuffling me off to an info at email, which goes into a black hole. It's just where all of the crap goes. I know we will never, ever, ever hear back. And this is the fundamental problem. That sort of way of dealing with independent media is how all of us will end up going, screw this elected official. Let's endorse the challenger. Let's fundraise for the challenger. This is exactly the problem that we are talking about. And so I reached out to my contacts on the Hill and I said, listen, this is what happened. This is exactly what I thought we were trying to fix when we went and met with the Biden administration and met with people from the House and met with people from the Senate in DC. And we're doing the same old thing. We're doing the same damn thing right now. So the point of this is, as I hear feedback from you, and most of you say about most of the elected officials I have on, David, these people are lost. They don't get it. They don't understand what's going on. They're not understanding how to effectively communicate in this new environment. They're not getting it. They're going to get crushed. Well, maybe some of them deserve to get crushed, right? I mean, maybe this is going to lead to a turnover generationally or ideologically or whatever, because even after everything that happened in 2024, email info at for any questions about the campaign. All right. Have it your way, guys. So listen, I'm sure there are going to be opportunities to say more about this upcoming, but the takeaway for me is I don't know that Democrats are really set up at all, like not even remotely, for a successful 2026 midterm. It's a midterm that Democrats should do well in. It's a midterm that Democrats should be able to, at minimum, take back the House, maybe with a large margin, and the Senate's difficult, but maybe the Senate will be in play. But this is not looking good. This is not looking good.